Hi, I'm your host, Shan Super, and today we are going to dive into the life of a travel nurse. According to the article, Day in the Life of a Travel Nurse, they take about 30 minutes to mentally prepare themselves before their shift. Also, they take about 5 minutes to talk with the charge nurse um, to get their assignment for that day and to update any patient charts if needed. Also, as a travel nurse, depending on where you work, your hourly pay will be different. For example, in California, the starting pay is $56 compared to Texas, which is $41. There's a social media influencer named Kyla who talks about how stressful the job can be and how you can manage that stress, like going to the gym or hanging out with friends. She also gives really good tips on how to be successful in that field. So, like when it comes to the tests for like studying, she recommends you make flashcards to help you remember the important info. I also want to cover some pros and cons. This is talked about in the article Travel Nurses Pros and Cons. Some pros can include one, flexibility, and two, a tax free stipend that covers duplicated expenses like housing, food, and accidental expenses. Some cons can include you're always the new guy within the field. And two, your contract could get canceled while working. Now, let's see what an expert has to say about this.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
As an operating room nurse, I have one OR and multiple patients in there, but one patient at a time. I help set up the equipment, make sure my scrub tech has what they need. I assist anesthesia with intubating. I position and prep the patient based on like where we're going, what we're doing, safety standards, make sure before they go to sleep, make sure all the consents are signed. I love the fact that it's a team thing. One of my favorite things is I don't have to be involved in the social drama. I don't like the fact that the surgery is going on and it's a really long case, like hours, and I have to pee, and there's no one to come in and take our spot for a little bit. We have to sit there and hold it. Work-life balance. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Naps are important. I do try to take them as often as I can. I personally like to take a day out of the month at least, sometimes every other weekend, and take a day out of that and just sleep. It's more it is more office hours like, so Monday through Friday, and then don't work weekends. Typical travel assignments are 13 weeks. The dress code, this is the color of the scrubs I get to wear. You have to wear this and a hairnet. You don't have to wear your mask. Can I take your lunch order? Essentials to have when you're working. Pen?
Okay.
But this is actually the most important one. Bandage scissors that are not yours. So, as a travel nurse, if you ask to go home early, you lose your stipends or the rest of the stipends for that day.
Gotcha.
If you don't make your full hours that you were contracted for, and it's because you had a day off or you were sick or something, like we don't get PTO. Or sick days or anything like that. We get health insurance if we are currently employed with a contract at the site. But we don't, like, we will, and losing stipends is kind of one of the hardest things. It's or was most of the most surprising thing I was not expecting. So, but if it is slow that day and you go to your charge nurse and you say, if you're looking for someone to flex, I would be willing. You turn it to where it's like, if you want to flex me, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not going to pursue you to guarantee me my 40 hours. I consent to being flexed if you flex me. That's different from saying, can I go home? I have heard some people say that it is wise to have your monthly living expenses be the cost of about one paycheck, 1 week paycheck, because we get also paid weekly. Having days off is important to schedule out. I would always opt to keep your stipends and find your own housing.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of important. It is tricky to have a relationship while you're a travel nurse, unless you're doing like traveling and you're doing like 312s where you work and it's blocked. So you work the 3 days and you go home to wherever your significant other is.
Yeah.
But if you're like traveling states, like I would be hard pressed to start dating somebody in California knowing that I have a mortgage back in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask them to apply for me over knowing me maybe 3 months in, like, and I'm a little shy. So like I'm gregarious and whatever, but when it comes to actually dating and boys, like I'm shy. So, and then also most of the people in the medical industry that are men are married or not, married, already taken, or not playing on the same team.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to settle down, it's not impossible, but it's tricky.
Yeah.
It might be, I almost said it might be easier to go for another traveler because then you could travel together and that would be awesome.
Yeah.
A little complicated if you don't get the same contracts, but I don't know. It's always tricky, but I feel like it's especially tricky for travel nurses. But I make friends everywhere I go and like beautiful people, and especially the other travelers. It's fun seeing where they're going next. I've got this like whole network of folks now. So it's not lonely. It's just if you're looking for a relationship, it's just trickier. And online dating sucks. It does. I don't know the situation chance, but like don't do it. Just don't.
Yeah. No,
You'll get carpal tunnel from swiping left. Like, no.
Today we learned a day in the life of travel nurses, and they contain a variety of things from different schedules to how they spend their day offs and just, how to live in general. Honestly, I thought it was pretty cool that travel nurses don't work on the weekend unless the company they work assigns them to. Also, I like the advice about living within your paycheck because, like I said before, depending on where you work, your hourly pay can be different, which means your income can be different, which means you may not always be able to afford the high-end living style.
Before we close out today, I just want to tell you a couple of reasons why you should become a travel nurse. Now, of course, you get to earn more, just because right now in the healthcare, the nursing shortages is real. So healthcare is in demand of nurses. So if you work in a specialty area or you work in the night shift, you may get paid more. That means your sign-on bonuses can contribute to your pay increase as well. Also, you get to broaden your skill set with this job because you're traveling to different places, and if you love to travel, it's also a good job for that. You get to learn new skills. Also, you get to transfer those solid skills to whatever, the next assignment you go to. We talked about you get to avoid workplace drama because you're not there for very long. So if you don't like something, you don't have to, stay with it. Also, you can pursue many new interests, just because, if you wanted to try something like snowboarding in the winter, you can, because you have the freedom to choose your next destination, which allows you to pursue different interests.
As we wrap up today, I just want to thank you for coming and listening to what a travel nurse does and what they have to say. I am your host, Chance Hubert, and I will see you next time on the Nurse on the Road podcast. Bye.